Hey traders, let's have a quick look at the Russell and the Nasdaq. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, let's have a quick look at the Russell. That's on the daily chart. We can see, guys, that just pretty much a nothing day. We're building this channel through here, as you can see. It's basically a nice channel. We're building this sort of upward channel through here, and that's what we're building through there. You can see we've had this nice run up through there, and this on the daily chart, by the way. Nice run up, and it continued slowly run up. We are continuing to, there's this bit of resistance over here, and if I bring up my trend line tools, you can see this resistance over here. That's where it's actually hitting its head right now. So we're having a lot of problems through there. If we do start to break down, this is actually what I call a bullish reversal flag. And whenever this happens, we generally get a reversal out of it. So if indeed, guys, through here, if indeed we actually start to get a breakdown, then we're likely to have at least a retracement back down towards this sort of support level through there. That's what I'm seeing there on the daily charts, the 3-month view. You can see that's what I'm seeing there on the daily charts. This is actually this is actually one of those patterns. But if we break up, then it's likely to continue. So we're waiting for that confirmation. Now, if I go back to the long-term charts, and as you can see here, this long-term charts, you can see that we're actually at this area of major resistance, and we've had quite a decent run on the Nasdaq, as you can see. So with the markets and how the markets work is that we actually, you know, the markets work like this. They stair step in a movement, and then they stair step down, or they just go sideways, and so on and so forth, right? Sideways is a high trough, low peak, high trough, like that. This is a sideways. So looking at the peaks and troughs, we can see that this market's had a run up, run down, run up, run down, and it's had a run up. So yes, this market can keep going up, but it generally doesn't do that. It generally doesn't do that. So we're actually due for a little pullback anyway on this long-term charts. You can see we had this run up, pullback, stair stepping higher, you know, and so on and so forth. So we're actually due for that. Let's go have a look at that monthly chart, and let's see if I can notice anything on this monthly chart, because this monthly chart is definitely key to me on this here. So on this monthly chart, it's really interesting. What I can see on this monthly chart, we can see that this whole area through here, but really, guys, this monthly chart is more for me for this area right here. I'd have to say that area right there is, and possibly even just a bit more down as well too. So as you can see through there, so there's a couple of areas through there that has been a lot of areas of resistance, and you can see on the monthly chart here, guys, that we have this resistance here, whole bunch of resistance through here, and you can see this level through here as well too was resistance. So that is the area of resistance for me. So what's actually happened now with looking at this monthly chart on the Russell, we actually can see it's holding this support level. Now, if indeed, you actually could see that it actually broke up through here. And let me actually make that a bit thinner. All right, broke it through there, and you can see this little where it is right now. So it's sort of holding this level of support. Now we had that level through there. Plus also, if I draw a trend line up from there to there, this is the level, guys. And again, this is a monthly chart. We start to break below these areas, and it's like, and you can start to see some significance in the market. See, so looking at this monthly chart here as well too, this is important, guys, and this is something that I just got to keep my eye on all the time, is these long-term charts. So you have that level through there, that level through there as well. And also, I would say that there's also something going on through here as well. So these are the couple of areas. And now, how did I get that area? Let me show you here. All right, so the first level, obviously we have this line through here, which is, you can see all the major resistance. You got this last couple of, remember, there's a weekly bar, so this is likely to be an area of support. Plus, the last couple of times we've actually got through here, that there, and there, we're likely to be support, and then obviously this long-term trend line going up through there as well too. So there's the overall weekly. There's that chart, and if I bring up the weekly chart now and squeeze it up, now we actually can see what's actually going on here. This is obviously the monthly trend line, but now you can see what's going on here, right? If you bring out the weekly and the daily, sometimes if you're looking at the daily, it's like, hang on a minute, let's actually bring it back to the long-term charts, and that's actually what you see there. So now you know what's going on with the Nasdaq or Russell. Let's go have a look at the Nasdaq, and let's do the exact same thing, shall we? So let's actually bring up the Nasdaq chart, and you can see pretty much nothing going on. Nasdaq is screaming. As you guys have known, right? You guys have known. I've actually said for the last week that I'm actually bullish on the Nasdaq. I actually think we're likely to race to new highs, and that's what the Nasdaq's doing. Look at it, just keeps going up and up and up. We're almost at all-time new highs on the Nasdaq. So very interesting. If you actually look at the QQQ, the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq ETF, this is the one that I like to trade. You can see that we actually had this massive. Is that a real bar? Let's go have a look at the hourly chart. What's the hourly chart say? Oh no, it's a misprint. I was gonna say, look at that. So you can see we've actually had basically the markets have actually broken out, and this is actually and the QQQ actually met and already hit my area of target, and you can see this market's continued up with the QQQ. Now if we go back to the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq is almost at its highs. So the ETF is actually stronger, but looks like we may want to try and break up to new highs on the Nasdaq as well too. Looks like all the markets are trying to raise to new highs. I don't think the Russell will, but that's yet to be seen. Let's go ahead and have a look at the long-term chart on the Nasdaq as well. You can see the long-term chart. We're at this area of resistance. I can't see why we wouldn't best new highs on the Nasdaq. So very interesting to see what's happening. And Nasdaq's just been bullet out of a gate, hasn't it? Look at it, just ram right up. So guys, and again, going on and looking on this market here, you can see that how the markets work. Once again, you have the stair-stepping movement. We've had such an extraordinary run to the high side that we're likely to get some pullback, and if it's going to continue up, then a pullback. You know what I mean? Or it might make a run up and then come back down, and then that might be a false breakout. But you can see what's going on through there. And now let's go have a look at the monthly charts. What does the monthly charts tell us? This could be the one. So we can see that there's actually a trend line going down through here. And if I just, is that like a bit of a channel? Is there a channel going on through there? I would say there is something through. Looks like there's a bit of a channel there on the monthly chart, right? So these are the areas you want to be focusing on the monthly chart. We start to break below all these areas through here, guys. It's all over, Red Rover. But we're just going sideways. You know, we may break up the new highs and just keep running up to new highs, but the market is definitely stalling through there, and that's what I do see on the Russell and the Nasdaq, guys. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.